Hi, I'm Joe Green.
And I'm Jason Ricker.
And we're here with a cigar review from the members at MickeyBlakes.com. Mickey Blake's is located at 50 Spring Street in Southington, Connecticut, and offers a very well-apportioned humidor and a luxurious lounge, including the poker room in which we're currently sitting. What are we reviewing today?
Today we got the Rapture, which is from a company called Viva Republica.
Viva Republica.
Yeah, they're a company that is fairly new to the cigar game. These particular cigars are being rolled by the La Aurora factory down in the Dominican Republic, which is rich with history, and you know, they've been rolling cigars forever for a lot of different people.
Oldest cigar factory in the Dominican Republic, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, absolutely. Haven't had a bad cigar from La Aurora yet. So what do you think about this one?
Well, what we're looking at today is the Rapture from Viva Republica, and the wrapper on this cigar is Ecuadorian Havana Vuleta Abajo, which I think is some custom Habano strain, technically.
Yeah, fancy Habano. Fancy name for a Habano wrapper.
Yep. And we've got a Dominican Corojo binder, and the fillers are Nicaraguan Seco, Brazilian Matafita, and some Dominican Ligeros. So, as you would assume, reasonably complex cigar. Lots of flavors, and we'll get into that in a minute. Several sizes available. The one we're reviewing is called the Harasha, I believe it is. It's a Gordo. It's a 6x58. Nice big cigar. There is also a Robusto, a Toro, and a Torpedo. And they range in price from about $7.50 to $9 or so. So, not overly expensive.
Definitely really reasonably priced. Like I said, for a big cigar like this, this is the largest one in the line. And for, you know, less than $10, I think this retails around $8.50, $9. It's a bargain.
Yeah, and the flavor is not without fantastic merits, which I can talk about.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I think one of the things that interests me most about this cigar is it's got, as we said, really good complexity, getting a lot of different flavors. I would say toasted nuts, maybe some caramel, a little bit of creaminess.
Absolutely, very creamy. It's woody, as you know you would expect from any Dominican cigar. You're going to get a little bit of that burnt wood sensation there. The aroma coming off the foot is delicious as well.
And some florals in there also. Very nice. It's very enjoyable. It's complex, and I think one of the things we've said talking about this cigar before is that it's got flavors that are very much up in your face. They're very noticeable. The pepper, while not dominant, is very obvious, but it's got a lot of more subtle flavors that you're going to notice as you start to pay attention to the cigar, focus in a little more.
Definitely, I'm really surprised with kind of how in your face it is for a 58 ring gauge cigar. Generally, as the ring gauges get larger, flavors kind of get muted and are harder to pick up. I'm not having that problem at all with this cigar.
And I'll say, since we brought up La Aurora and the construction factor, construction on these cigars is excellent. I mean, we're only a little bit into these two, but I've smoked, I would say, probably 6 or 7 of these by now. And I've taken the ash, you know, 1.5 inches, which on a 58 ring cigar is fantastic. The burn tends to be very even, and nice, enjoyable feel in the mouth. Not too big. It's odd that, you know, 58 is not that common a ring gauge. Most people go towards 60. You see 54, 56. But this one, the mouthfeel is very good. Really no soft spots. I wouldn't call it an overly pretty wrapper. It's veiny. It's a little bumpy, but
I agree. But it's still nice looking. It's appealing. It isn't, you know, it's not a smooth, perfect wrapper as you said, but it's a nice looking wrapper. If you look at it in the light here, it's a little bit furry almost. It's tasty. It's a real appealing looking wrapper.
Yeah, generally appealing cigar. And I had the pleasure of meeting Jason Holley, who has partnered with Guillermo Leon to put together this delicious offering. Really nice guy, very, very knowledgeable about the industry. Not one of those owners, guys who just said, hey, I want to start a cigar stand. He knows the business. He knew the flavor profile he wanted. As I understand it, there is a Maduro version on the way, which I'm curious to see how it's going to work out. If it's as good as this one, it's certainly going to make it into my regular rotation, I would have to say.
Absolutely. I think they were kind of just giving it a shot. The production initially was right around 40 to 50,000 cigars at the end of 2012. I have to imagine, because it's been pretty well received, I have to imagine that they're going to ramp that production up this year and kick out a whole new batch. And like you said, with the Maduro joining the line, it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to smoke that Maduro.
Yeah, and one of the things Jason was saying is that the demand has been very significant, and it's kind of hard to run into. A lot of the B&Ms don't carry these. You're not going to see them everywhere. A, because it's a newer company and they're just building a reputation, and B, because production is kind of limited. But if you catch one somewhere and they are available at Mickey Blake's, you should definitely check one out. If you like your Dominicans, this is definitely a cigar to be smoked.
Most certainly, and I think really quickly, I think it's a cigar that even a beginner could pick up and not be overwhelmed by it. There's some Ligero in here, but it's not the kind of Ligero that's going to make you sick or punch you in the mouth, so to speak.
Yeah, so and that's a good point to contrast strength from flavor. It's not an overly strong cigar. Definitely there. You're going to notice it, but it shouldn't catch you by surprise.
Absolutely.
Even in this rather large offering.
I completely agree.
All right. So, this being a cigar of such large size, you'd expect it to be very strong, and that might dissuade some less experienced smokers from trying it out. But I don't think that's really necessary.
Absolutely not. I think anybody, from beginner, immediate to advanced, is going to find something in this cigar that they really enjoy. There's enough flavor right up front that a beginner smoker isn't going to have to try and pull anything out of it. It's going to hit them right in the mouth and say, hey, these are toasted nuts, this is wood. It's going to be something that they're going to find to enjoy, even if they can't really describe it so much. The other half of that coin is somebody that's been smoking a while is going to pick this up, and it's going to have enough flavor to keep them interested and keep them kind of captivated. It's got some changes in there that are, I think, for me, keeps me challenged enough to stay interested.
And I would say one of the great things about a cigar that's got that mixture, again, that balance of flavors we keep talking about, is that if you are a more intermediate smoker working on developing your palate, this is a fun cigar to play with, because there are those subtle flavors that you can kind of enjoy looking for as you're going through the smoke.
Absolutely, and it's just as fun as well. Getting the different sizes. How this is going to compare to your Robusto or your Toro and Torpedo, and what the different sizes do to the cigar. Because I know that this cigar tastes extremely different in the Robusto size.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say that while I enjoy them all, by the way, this is my personal favorite. I don't know about you.
No, I agree. This is definitely the one.
Yeah, and this is that's why we kind of picked this size. So, but hey, try them all. Opinions do vary, as we always say, and you're going to taste different things than we taste. And depending on the day, the humidity, the temperature, everything that's going on, what you had to eat, whether you ate, how long ago, all of those things are going to affect your experience. So try it all and see what you like.
Definitely. And as you've seen me blowing it through my nose, it blows very easily through the nose. The retrohale is nice and smooth, no burn. It's just an all-around great. It's a well-balanced cigar.
So let's talk a little bit about some pairing potentials for this cigar, because one of the great things about a cigar that's got some very bold flavors and some more subtle flavors is that it's got good pairing potential, because you can try with a stronger beverage or stronger food if you like to eat while you smoke, and it's not going to overwhelm the cigar. The cigar is not going to overwhelm necessarily whatever you're eating or drinking. I would say one of the things that is, because of the pepper, but balanced pepper, and the various nut and different kind of flavors, I think a Scotch pairing is obvious, and that's one of the things that I'm a big fan of. I think sherry cask pairing when I do this, so your Macallans, your Dalmores that have that like slighter sweetness, I think that's going to be a good contrast and balance with a cigar. I would also say beers, maybe not necessarily IPAs that have like a big dominant flavor. So your high IBU IPAs, you maybe don't want to try that. But maybe Belgian ales a little bit, or some of your other lighter ales that aren't going to be too dominant in flavor. Probably, in my opinion, darker stuff like porters and stouts isn't going to work out the best, because I think that balance might be a little weird. But I'm speculating, and my opinion is my own. Our opinions are our own, and definitely try anything and everything that you feel might work out. But I think those are going to be the best. So some of the lighter scotches, cognac, of course, and lighter ales, Belgians and English, I would say.
I'm a big fan, just with a nice cup of coffee. So cream and sugar and coffee, and this, I'm a happy guy.
Definitely a way to go. Let's hear some comments. If you found good pairings, let us know. We'd like to try them too.
Absolutely.
So, this has been the Rapture by Viva Republica in Gordo, also known as the Harasha size. I'm Joe Green.
I'm Jason Richter.
And we're here from Mickey Blake's. Don't forget to like Mickey Blake's on Facebook. You should love Mickey Blake's on Facebook. But you can just like Mickey Blake's on Facebook. Follow our YouTube channel. And follow us on Twitter. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.